So today I'm about to be doing a story time video. I'm a little sick or whatever, but I decided why not to do a story time video. Today's story time video is going to be about my teenage years, or what I did when I was a teenager, just my teenage years. Okay. I really wanted to talk about this or make this a story time just for everybody out there, to watch this and see, like, don't be like me. Because when I was a teenager, I was bad. I really was. And now that I'm grown, I have a child, I've matured way more than when I was a teenager. I lost my virginity at 15 years old. I may or may not make a story time about how I lost my virginity. I don't know yet. But I became bad basically when I lost my virginity. I lost my virginity at 15 years old. To this dude I was in a relationship with. I thought he was the one. He wasn't. He wasn't the one. And he's a good dude. Don't get me wrong, he's a good dude, but he just wasn't the one for me. Well, after I lost my virginity, I went a little wild. I was bad in school. Like I used to fight in school. I got suspended a lot in school. I got suspended one time for I fought a girl in the lunchroom. She was talking. She was messing with my sister, and I didn't really appreciate it. I didn't appreciate it. So I texted her on Facebook that night, and I told her, I was like, don't mess with my sister. Well, she came back like she had an attitude, and the next day I seen her in the lunchroom at breakfast, and she said something to me, and I swung on her, and we got into a fight. That's my first time ever getting suspended at school. And it was before I even lost my virginity. I was like 14 years old. 13 or 14. I just became in the middle school. Okay, I got suspended for being in a gang. I got suspended for like a week or two. And I got Oscar ISS or whatever you call it. I got that for about 2 or 3 months. Yeah, so me and a group of friends decided it was okay to be in a gang, which it wasn't okay. But when you're young and stuff, you don't really think about all that. So we became in a gang or whatever. And the teachers, the principal, somebody told on us. They found out, and so they suspended every one of us and put us in ISS, Oscar. I got a lot to go. I got into a fight at I went to somebody's house. I got into a fight at somebody's house. I decided it was okay to go to somebody's house and fight them because they was running their mouth. I got into a fight at my place. I tried to fight 3 girls at once. I didn't try, I did. I pinned them up in a van and I was swinging on them, trying to fight them. This will remind you, this is when I was young. I'm almost 20 now, if everybody's wondering. I'm almost 20. I'll be 20 this year, but this was when I was like 15, 16, or whatever. I was like 15 at this time. I moved schools. I went to one school or whatever, and that's when I was getting in so much trouble. I went to that school ever since kindergarten. That was my main school. I knew that's where all my friends was and everything. Well, because I got in so much trouble there, they made me move schools. So I moved to a different school, and they put me in ISS there. I got into trouble there. I used to get paddles there. I was just bad. Like, I was not a good kid. Well, I went to this school or whatever, and we moved houses. Me, my mom, my dad, my sisters, we all moved into this house. I was currently dating my ex-boyfriend or whatever, and he was on probation. I was on probation. I was on probation for 4 years. I got on probation for being in trouble a lot, for fighting, and for not wanting to go to school because I used to skip school. I didn't want to go to school. I hated school. I actually quit school, and I regret it. I regret it to this day because let me tell y'all guys, please, if you're in school and you're watching this video, please do not quit school. It's not a good idea. But me, I was young, I was dumb, I didn't like school, I got into fights a lot, I got put in ISS Oscar a lot. I thought it was okay to quit school. It's not okay, and I feel so, I feel miserable for, I can't even think about it because I just feel so bad for quitting school. But we all moved into this place, and my boyfriend had got into trouble. And you know, I was young, and he had asked me because either we go somewhere and hide out, or he was going to go to jail. So he asked me to come with him to hide out. So while my mom and dad was in there, it was like 11, 12 at night, me and him, I jumped out my window and I ran, or whatever. And so I ran away from home because he wanted me to, because he was in trouble, and if he didn't leave, he would have went to jail. So he came and got me that night, and I jumped out my window and I ran. I was on a run for about 2 to 3 months, not going to school, smoking, fighting, like being bad, like wouldn't talk to nobody. Everybody was worried about me. So I did all that, and it came to the conclusion that we thought it would be a better idea for him to turn himself in, because running, they're eventually going to catch you, so you know it's pointless. So we thought it would be a better idea to turn himself in. So we ran up to the police station and we turned himself in. While we was there, they actually, because I ran away from home and I was being so bad, they put me in DHR custody. That night, they put me into a foster home. I was going crazy, so they had to take me out of the foster home. They had to find somewhere else for me to go because I didn't want to be in a foster home. My boyfriend at the time, he just went to jail, just got took from my mom and daddy, all kind of stuff. You think I'm finna be okay with going to a foster home? No, I wasn't. So it was either that or I was gonna run away. So they took me. They called my aunt. They asked my aunt if she would be okay of putting me in her custody. She was fine with it. So the next day, they put me in her custody or whatever, and I had to change schools again because I had to be in the same school that she was like, you know, that her daughter was in, which is my cousin. So they put me in her custody, and she took me in. She actually got custody of me or whatever. And remind you now, I was still talking to my mom and daddy because I love my mom and daddy with all my heart. And I feel so bad to this day for doing whatever I've done to them. Because I put my mom and daddy, as my teenage years, I put them through hell. I really have. And I regret it. I regret every bit of it. Because I shouldn't have done that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if my daughter puts me through what I put my mom and daddy through, we're going to have some issues. We really are. No, that's not okay. Everything I put my mom and daddy through is not okay. Far from okay. It really is. So, I remind you, and I still talk to my mom. I still apologize to this day. And I'll be 20 this year. I still apologize to this day to my mom and daddy every time I talk to them about everything I put them through, about getting a DHR involved so they could take me from my mom and daddy. I still, to this day, talk to them about it. I really do. And I tell them I'm sorry mama, I'm sorry daddy, I don't know how I can make it up to you. But they tell me that it's okay because, you know, as a mom and daddy, they're not going to hold grudges against you. You're their daughter. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, especially when you're young, you're dumb. You want to be an adult so fast, but believe me, you don't. Being an adult sucks. It really does. Like, I wish I could go back to being, I love my daughter. I really do. I love my daughter to death. I would do anything in the world for my daughter. But I wish I could go back to being a kid or whatever. I didn't have no responsibilities then. All I had to do was clean up my room, take a shower, you know, that stuff. I didn't have to pay bills. My mom and daddy pay bills. They did everything for me. I didn't have to do none of that. But now that I'm grown, I have to pay bills. I have to have my own place, my car, all of that. And I have to pay it because I have a daughter that looks up to me. And that my daughter goes wherever I go. And she can't be without. I'm not going to put my daughter without. So yes, I have a bunch of bills to pay. But when they put me in DHR custody, I started living with my aunt. I moved in with my aunt. She got full custody of me and started going to this new school. And now, remind you now, I'm still a teenager. I'm only 16 years old when they put me in DHR custody. I met this dude when I was at school. The current boyfriend that I'm with now, my baby daddy and my boyfriend, I met him when I was put into DHR custody, and I moved schools to this new school that my cousin was going to. They had to put me in the same school. So I met him. Me and him started talking. Come to find out, he had a whole girlfriend / baby mama at the time. So me and him started talking. He actually broke up with his girlfriend for me. I feel bad for actually letting that happen. I should have, but me, I was still bad at the time. I was still put into my aunt's custody. I was still getting into a fight. I got into 3 fights in my aunt's custody. I was still going to parties. I was still running away to wherever I wanted to go. I was still being bad. Until I got pregnant. I got pregnant at 17 years old with my daughter. Now, before I got pregnant with my daughter, I had a miscarriage. A month before I got pregnant with my daughter that I have now, I had a miscarriage. I will make a story time about that, so y'all be prepared. I'm not going to talk about that yet, but I did have a miscarriage. But I got pregnant with my daughter at 17, and that's when I grew up. I was like, it's time, to become a mother, or whatever. So I grew up. I started looking for jobs and everything like that, and getting my own place, and I became a lot mature. I had to mature at a young age because I got pregnant. When you get pregnant, things change. You become a mother, a father, whatever. You become, like Sabrian, he had a daughter before me. So he was already mature. But me, I didn't have any kids before I met Sabrian. So I had to mature, and I did. I matured as I became an adult. I matured a lot. All I do is stay home, take care of my daughter, I don't do nothing else. I don't go out. I don't party. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't fight. Don't do none of that. I stay home and take care of my daughter while he works. That's about it. But anyways, thank y'all for watching this video. If y'all want part 2, because I think I left some stuff off. So if y'all want part 2, just comment down below. Like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Thank y'all for watching. Bye.